You're listening to Four Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast.
Today is Monday, August 3rd. I'm Maria Lizignoli.
I'm Johnny Connor. Thank you for watching and listening to Four Things to Know today.
It's been a while, Johnny. Both you and I have not been on the podcast for 3 weeks. It's great to see you.
We're going to have a great show.
If you're not looking at us, we're back. We're tanned. We are ready to get back to work, and we do have a lot to talk about today. So our top story, Vance Boelter back in court today, this time in Hennepin County. Boelter is already sentenced in federal court for killing former Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark and their dog Gilbert, and for attempting to kill State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette. Their daughter Hope was also there that night and called for help. Despite his federal conviction, state charges press on. Barrett Leone was at the Hennepin County Government Center ahead of the state court process beginning this afternoon. Barrett also spoke with legal expert Rachel Moran with the University of St. Thomas. Here's her report from noon.
Vance Boelter will spend the rest of his life behind bars, but his legal battle is not over yet. In just over an hour, he'll make his first appearance in Hennepin County Court, where he's facing similar state charges tied to the deadly attacks last summer. In the state-level case, Boelter faces 2 counts of first-degree premeditated murder, 4 counts of attempted first-degree murder, animal cruelty, and impersonating a police officer. Legal experts we spoke with in June say it's unlikely Boelter will go to trial in state court, and instead they believe he will negotiate a guilty plea like we saw earlier this summer in federal court. But if Boelter's already convicted, why is the state pressing forward? Legal experts say there may be no point outside of emotional and symbolic value, and that could be worth everything.
When you have a life sentence, then you might say, why bother with a state prosecution? But other people might say it has symbolic value in the sense that it is still forcing Mr. Boelter to either go to trial, in which case people could testify about what he did, or forcing him to acknowledge in state court.
And another potential motivation, a president cannot pardon a state conviction, which would add another layer of protection to keep Boelter behind bars.
Number 2 today, we're following a court case involving Minnesota Republican candidate for governor and MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell. This all stems from a complaint filed by Dan Fiscum. Fiscum is accusing Mike Lindell of violating Minnesota's Fair Campaign Practices Act. The complaint is centered around pillows Lindell gave out during a parade in Delano over the 4th of July. Lindell posted an Instagram video of a similar giveaway during a parade in Foley. Court papers claim Lindell gave out the pillows to induce voters to cast their ballot for him. It also claims the pillows have a value of $34.95, which is above what's allowed by law. And Maria, today you actually talked with Lindell.
Yeah, that's right. I talked with Mike Lindell on the phone this morning before the hearing, and he told me that the pillows he was giving away were only worth around $4.90 as opposed to what was said in the complaint, which was around $35. And he also told me that he and his team checked the rules and dotted their I's and crossed their T's. Now, that probable cause hearing wrapped up at noon today. The judge now has 3 days to call an evidentiary hearing. So we will have more on that and what Lindell said in court today coming up on our later newscasts and online.
Number 3, politics took center stage ahead of yesterday's Lynx game in Minneapolis. Protesters and counter-protesters were drawn to Target Center in response to Sophie Cunningham. The Indiana Fever player is making headlines for her comments about transgender athletes. She first told ESPN last month that she wants to protect girls' sports from biological men. Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve wore a shirt at yesterday's game against the Fever that read, "Trans kids belong." The pair were seen having a conversation courtside before tip-off.
I think both of us understand that we have platforms, and, we both talked about, wanting to, more than anything, educate. And there are some things that, we have in common and maybe some things you differ on, just like any issue.
Reeve told reporters on Saturday that there is a place for nuanced conversation, believing transgender kids and athletes should be included in sports. And Maria, as the off-the-court stuff played out, the Lynx continued to prove why they're so good.
Yeah, they did really well, actually. I mean, it was a sold-out crowd at Sunday's game at Target Center. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were in town, like we said, but Minnesota had no problem under the bright lights. They led at halftime, and despite a run from the Fever late, they hung on to that win 108-100. Red hot rookie Olivia Miles put up 28 points. So get this, the Lynx have now won 10 in a row. This is their longest streak since 2016. They have a 4-game lead for first place in the league. So the best team in the WNBA stays home for their next matchup. The Lynx take on the LA Sparks Thursday night at 8 o'clock at Target Center.
They're really good.
They're really good. I mean, we know that, but this is proof.
Number 4 today, a driver is dead and a teen is in the hospital after a 3-vehicle crash this morning in Shakopee. The State Patrol says a motorist in a Ford Taurus who was driving northbound is dead. That vehicle left the highway and went through the center median. It then collided with the trailer of a semi-truck and a Ford F-150 traveling southbound. The semi-truck driver was not injured, but the F-150 driver is an 18-year-old man who is in the hospital. The law enforcement agency is investigating the crash. Those are our 4 things to know today. Let's get a check-in now on our next weather forecast.
Hi, I'm next weather meteorologist Lisa Meadows. As we head into tonight, we do have some thunderstorms rolling through the metro, mainly after midnight tonight. Tomorrow, temps go from 68 in the morning back up to 77 as we head into the afternoon.
And now, here's more to know.
All day we've been working to learn more about what happened after a state trooper was taken to the hospital. Now, the trooper was involved in a crash on I-35 near 220th Street in Forest Lake on Sunday afternoon. According to the State Patrol, the trooper and the driver of another vehicle were seriously hurt, and both were taken to the hospital. The Forest Lake Police Department is leading this investigation into what happened. We'll keep you updated as soon as we find out more.
Tonight, the city of Lakeville will become the latest metro city to discuss a potential moratorium on data centers. It's up for discussion at the city council meeting, and they say they hope to settle on a review process for any data center development. This comes after last month when the Minneapolis City Council approved a 5-month pause on data center development as the centers have drawn backlash from communities across the state over concerns of noise pollution, air quality impacts, and water usage. Other communities like Elk River, Inver Grove Heights, and Faribault have already implemented similar moratoriums or policies as well. So again, the Lakeville City Council will discuss and hold a moratorium vote on data centers at their meeting tonight. It's happening at 6, and we, of course, will be sure to follow it and bring you the latest information as it comes in our evening newscasts.
St. Paul intends to close a major homeless encampment. Volunteers showed up yesterday to help residents and protest the city's decision. The so-called Stop the Sweeps Coalition says clearing the encampment at Pig's Eye Park will put people in danger. Advocates and residents alike tell WCCO they feel like they have nowhere else to go. The city says spots like this are a major public safety hazard. Leaders approved spending $1 million to expand emergency shelter beds, and some of that money is going to the Catholic Charities shelter downtown. They are preparing for an influx of people as the city moves to shut down encampments. We spoke with the shelter's chief program officer, Keith Kozerski.
We have a lot of people at the table trying to figure out temporary solutions for people coming out of the encampments. What's going to be just as important is that nonprofit providers, city, county, and state government stay at the table looking at resources that are going to create a long-term sustainable solution.
And the shutdown at Pig's Eye is planned for this week, Wednesday, August 5th.
A Minneapolis pastor believes a social media trend is to blame for recent break-in attempts at his church. Surveillance video captured 4 people outside a Northeast Minneapolis church late Friday night. One of them tried to break in a locked door at Holy Cross Catholic Church with what appears to be a crowbar. The church's pastor says they've had 15 to 20 attempted and actual break-ins in recent weeks. He says it's cost the church tens of thousands of dollars in repairs and believes it's actually part of the urban explorer trend. That's where people capture footage in restricted or abandoned buildings. We spoke with Father Spencer Howe with the Holy Cross Catholic Church.
The church has kind of been the Holy Grail a little bit, as you might imagine. And it's a social media thing where they're kind of challenging and encouraging each other to be bolder and bolder.
We did reach out to the Minneapolis Police Department about the break-ins. They said they were not able to answer any questions over the weekend, though, so we're hoping to learn more and we'll keep you updated.
24 people were arrested after an undercover operation aimed at protecting minors. This is according to Blaine Police, who says the operation focused on undercover exploitation stings. So, investigators would pose as underage and find adults seeking illegal conduct with minors. It was a 2-day operation. Police say they communicated with more than 350 individuals who responded to an online ad. 24 people offered to pay for illegal sexual conduct with someone they believed to be a minor. They were all arrested. Police tell us several were repeat offenders, and one was a registered sex offender.
Let's get to sports. It's an interesting day in basketball, Maria. Do you know the history?
The history of basketball? A hoop and a ball.
For the NBA for Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah, you do know that. That's great. On this day in 1949, the National Basketball Association was born, and Minnesota played a big role in that first season. Yeah, kind of interesting. Listen to this. The NBA formed from 2 leagues, the Basketball Association of America and, of course, the National Basketball League. So there were 17 teams in that first season, and the Minneapolis Lakers would win the first championship.
Weird to hear Minneapolis Lakers, right?
That used to be our team.
I know.
Yeah, jealous. The Lakers, they started as a dynasty here in Minnesota. They won 5 championships in their first 10 years. And of course, despite having a lot fewer lakes, the team and its Midwest-inspired name would move to Southern California in 1960. That's where they've been ever since. And they have a lot more rings than the Timberwolves do.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't also keep the winning streak when they moved. But it is cool to think about how the Lakers started here, got their name. I remember growing up wondering why they were called the Lakers when they're by the ocean.
Super interesting.
It's because they were right here in Minnesota.
And they're one of the most iconic franchises in American sports. You know, you think of the Lakers, you think of the Yankees, Dodgers, but pretty cool history. So there you go. And this is a good story too. A big win in Minnesota golf over the weekend. Minneapolis's Derek Hitchner, he won the Utah Championship on the Korn Ferry Tour. That's just a step below the PGA Tour. He won a 5-man playoff yesterday, making a birdie. So, and it hasn't been a good season for him too, but now he's 26th in the standings. The top 20 on the Korn Ferry Tour, they get their PGA Tour card for next year. So he's close.
He's close.
He's
okay.
close.
Oh, that's exciting for a Minnesota kid.
So he played at Blake High School, then went to Pepperdine, and now he's trying to make the tour.
We're
rooting for him.
We're rooting for him,
and
absolutely.
He was actually super emotional after the win. Check this out.
I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. No, I mean, I've been just floundering all year, just working as hard as I can to try to get a bit better, and the results have not reflected that. And so it's, I mean, truly unbelievable that this happened. But thankfully it did.
It's time to take a breath with your Daily Bright Spot.
From 64 shops, including 3 in Minnesota, down to 1. And here at WCCO, we've been closely watching America's Best Ice Cream Competition.
Huge deal.
It's a huge deal here at CCO. We all love ice cream, as I'm sure so many of you do as well. And we can tell you today that Cup and Cone in White Bear Lake has been named the best.
In the country.
In the country. Cup and Cone in White Bear Lake.
I saw they're doing a pina colada flavor right now.
Yes.
That looks great.
I love pina colada flavor.
Amazing.
It is, just one of the best. And so this whole online voting competition started with 64 shops across the country. And after 5 rounds of voting, Cup and Cone came out number 1.
Wow.
With a cherry on top.
This was a serious competition.
I guess so.
That would be the best job ever if you could try all contestants' ice cream.
Really
I wonder how they did it.
Fly around. Right. I mean, obviously, Cup and Cone has some big fans to have them come out and vote for this nationwide competition. So I gotta try this.
Let's do a field trip one day. No, I've never been either.
Yeah, let's do it. I love a good ice cream cone.
Especially
and I saw
with how hot it's been, too.
I know, right?
It's amazing.
On their website, they have these cones that are dipped in sprinkles and goodies. And I'm like, give me some of that.
Let's go. We'll have to go.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us here on 4 Things to Know. It's so good to both be back with you all. With Johnny Connor, I'm Maria Lisignoli, and we're here with the news you need every weekday afternoon by 3 o'clock.
Listen to 4 Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Maria Lizignoli, and this podcast comes to you from the WCCO Podcast Studio.
I'm Johnny Connor, and this is where you'll find the latest news of the day with us on 4 Things to Know.
I'm Mariel Mose, and I bring you the stories behind the female athletes redefining the game on women in sports.
I'm Adam Duxter. Join me for a deep dive into faith and what it means to Minnesotans around the state on Bigger Than Belief.
Stay in the know on the go with the WCCO Podcast Studio. Go to WCCO.com/podcasts.